kept. An Irish text goes back, it's the oldest spoken language in the world. The laws goes back to Brehon law, and that's where we can create our own form of Brehon law under this constitution and forget about everything else that's going on around it. So in 1922 that deal was signed, and that lease was up 2021, December the 6th last year. But it took a year to negotiate a treaty, and that's what's going on now. We're all up for negotiation. So when we surround ourselves with a contract, this is their contract, they'll have to abide by it, and they can't attack us from any way with it. So in 1947, this constitution was signed and sealed and given from the people as a government of Ireland. Obviously it didn't suit the King and Queen at the time. There was no Crown jurisdiction under this constitution. So it happened after the Spanish flu in 1939, 1940, exactly what happened now in COVID, where after coming out of emergency legislation and moving into wartime legislation, they brought in wartime legislation and they created a new contract, and it's 1942 constitution. In there they changed the Irish text into Roman font, and we rewrote our language and retaught us a new version of our Irish language, which is, if you look at the Article 63 in the Constitution, our Constitution, it says the Irish text. If there is a conflict within the Constitution, the Irish text must prevail. So they knew this. So the only way out of it in 42 with wartime measures was to change the language, the text. That's what they done, and it brought in Roman civil procedure. And they created this new constitution under wartime measures, and they removed 13 articles, Article 51 to Article 63 consecutively altogether. Now, Article 51 was always going to be removed. There was just a bit of a deal that was going on that it could be changes made if there was a referendum brought to people and needed to be done. It was only ever could be changed under referendum. So they created this new constitution, removed 13 articles, but Article 52 to 63 were kept in the Irish Supreme Court as the law of Ireland, and the 42 constitution that they're using. So in there, enrolled and sitting in a little green book, is these 12 articles that we can refer back. Constitutions are like jigsaws, and without these articles they take away your rights. That was the first move they made. Then they changed the whole language, and it was total Crown control jurisdictions. But as we are standing here on Irish soil and Irish land, the 4 provinces of Ireland, the jewel in the crown in the world, which is most countries around the world are battling for control of Ireland. We're all up for all these, the 3 different cities and 3 controls, the Rome, the crown, they're all looking for battle. But as we're standing here now, they have no jurisdiction at all. They're creating all these statutes and legislations and acts and controls under emergency wartime measures. We are a sovereign, independent, democratic, neutral state. We are not at war. Therefore, if they've gone back to wartime measures, 1942 constitution, which they are standing under, we now evoke 1937, 63, full Irish text constitution as our law of our land, and we stand under it. And every time we write a notice, we evoke and enact our constitution.
Did you
And
just
we
say
have
that
to do
last
this.
sentence? We about the
1937,
Yeah.
full 63 Irish text constitution.
Do you think it's a good idea
People
to-
can stand up in Ireland and sing their national anthem, and if you ask them to talk to me about that in English, we don't know. We've been dumbed down under language. We've taken away our language. We have barristers working out of a bar council which has no jurisdiction, who are using English law, English text. Ask any barrister standing in Ireland to give you law in Irish text, and they don't know how to do it because they haven't been trained that way. They've all been trained to work in this jurisdiction, which is over. Right now, around the world, everything is over. We need to look at who we are right now as Irish people, Irish nationals. Now, I know there's a lot of people in Ireland that are living and didn't come here through the native people like I did. But as a national and as a people, if you want to join in somebody under Brehon law, if you want to move into a jurisdiction and live in that jurisdiction, all you must do is live under the laws of that jurisdiction. And that's what we need to do, just stand under our jurisdiction. And it's Irish text law, and that's my understanding of everything. And I hope people have questions. If anybody has any questions, anybody wants to challenge anything that I'm doing here in Ireland, come to me right now. There we are.
Here, here.